Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Todd Menard, and today we're going over the Greater Phoenix Metropolitan Housing Statistics for the week ending May 11th and taking a look at the month end April 2026. Let's get right into our numbers. 75 days closed on market this past week, a 3.38 month supply. Absorption rate is at 29.54%. Average list price this past week, 781,829. Average sale price this past week, 610,024. And our list price to sale price retention was at 97.26. Looking at active inventory is up just a little bit to 26,495 available properties. Pending is at 4,908 and closed units at 1,515 for the month of May. Looking at new listings taken this past week, 15.9% increase to 2,479 listings taken. That brings our days on market from active for 92 days and closed at 75. Taking a look at the lower left-hand side where we get to see the price range. And remember, month-end numbers, this doesn't show active inventory, this shows closed inventory. So this is exactly the activity that took place during each of the price ranges for the month of April. We take a look at the totals of the properties that closed in the month of April. 71.38% of them were under $600,000. 18.5% were between $600 and $1 million, and 10.12% were over actually $1 million. Taking a look at the spreadsheet, we have new listings taken, 2,479 in comparison to 2,139 the week before, 2,347 the year before that last year. So that's a 15.9% increase. A good job bringing us over 24, which is our rule of thumb number. As long as we're keeping more than 2,400 units each week in there, then we can handle that 5,500 buyers in the marketplace. Taking a look at inventory, active inventory at 26,495, 597 of them are coming soon. 19,856 are in the single family detached category. 1,923, a little bit of an absorption in the new home construction market. 26,026 in the non-distressed. During the month end, we also take a moment to take a look at what actually happens with the distressed properties. So this particular month, you can see over here, we're still under, we're at 1.8%, still under 2. And this shows us exactly the number of short sales, 281, currently 148 lender owned and 28 HUD. Pending right now, these are the buyers in escrow. This is up a little bit to 4,908. Last year, we were at 4,426. So we have seriously 500 more buyers in escrow right now on average than we did last year. This is what's consuming the inventory and throwing us back into that seller's market. Looking at closed, we're at 1515 for the month of May, way too early in the month to try to determine what's going to happen. And the same thing with the closed short sale and distressed inventory. But that's a 3.38 month supply. Anytime we're between that 2.5 and 3, that is absolutely the sweet spot of the bat. But again, we were down, which is good, reduced our month supply to 3.38 from 3.42. Last year, we were at 3.71. The year before that in 2024 at 3.27. So again, this is exceptional as it relates to our current marketplace. Taking a look at the median sale price, you'll notice it's 458.8, and again 450 the week before, 450 last year same period, 453 the year before that. And what are we saying when we're talking about this? We're saying that the pricing is stable. That's a good thing. They're not going up and they're not going down, but in some markets they may be doing either of those, of course. But this is looking at the Arizona Regional MLS. Taking a look at days on market, it's getting kind of brisk. We were at 83 last year. We're now down to 75 days on market. 70 is the sweet spot. So all of the conditions are aligning. We have 2,400 rule of thumb being met new listings. We're looking for 5,500 people pending. We're sitting at about 5,000. So here's the 55 that we're looking for. 2.5 to 3 month supply. We're coming down to 3.38 because we're in our market. We're in starting right now, month of April and through September in our summer season. And then, of course, 70 days on market. So we're getting down to those numbers. Looking at list price to sale price retention, we were at 97.2 this past week. Made about the same as it was the week before. We're looking for 97.8. So how did April fare overall? We took 10,367 new listings in April. That's up from 11, or actually, excuse me, it's down from 11,239 the month before. But again, it's up just a little bit year over year. Taking a look at total inventory, we're at 28,056, which is about the same inventory we had last year in the month of April. So again, we didn't really exceed the amount of inventory, which is again why we're in the situation we're in. 5,338 average buyers in escrow, 7,200 the year before. So when you see that we're closing numbers equal to or better than last year, but we had, let's get it up there. We had, 2,000 or 1,800, 1,600 more buyers in the marketplace in escrow. There were a lot of people canceling in escrow, and that's the difference. Right now, we're not having a lot of people canceling in escrow. The people that are going in that contract are actually closing on these properties. So 7,732 is where we finished up the month of April. That was up 4% year over year. It was down just a little bit from, the month of March, but again, we're still in that, by what, 4 units? But again, so it's good, and we're in the green. That's what we're looking for, but it would have been nicer to have just been a little bit more brisk. Taking a look at the closed inventory and the defaulting categories, up here we show you that there's 281 short sales, 148 lender homes, 28 HUD, but then down here we're seeing only 45, about 5%, not even of those are roughly closing. So again, it's good that we're closing those properties. People need help. So you do need to become aware of short sales and get your act together as it relates to knowing how to help somebody truly and understanding that process. 3.63 month supplies where we finished the end of the month versus 3.77 the year before. So again, this is a very, very strong number. It says we're in a competitive market. The median sale price is identical almost, 445 to 440. It varies and it bumps. But again, it's very, very consistent, and we're not seeing the prices increase. The days on market this past month were 53. So, we're talking about 70 over here being 75 just week over week. Last month, for the entire month, the average was 53 days on market for sold units. That's saying the stuff that's coming on the market is what's selling. That's the first key. And then we don't have that many cancellations in escrow. So this is a very, very good sign. Here's kind of the anomaly, if you would, of this. We're talking about, are we in a seller's market? Are we buyers? We're in a seller's market. Listen to Lawrence Young, listen to everybody. But again, it doesn't mean that you don't fight for the buyer's position, things of that nature. But look at this, 97.9 list price to sell price retention. You look, and the same thing almost the month before. Look at the rule of thumb over here, 97.8. So we're getting this is a 5-year historical. These numbers are 5-year historical Arizona Regional MLS numbers. So when you're getting all of that, that means that the sellers aren't giving that much up. They're either potentially giving up concessions, or they might be negotiating a little on price, but it's consistent with a normal market. If this was 100%, sellers would be getting all of their list price. If it was 105, people would be paying more than list price. So at 97.8, it's fair in the marketplace. There's about a 2.2% negotiation with sellers on just about every contract that has taken place. But that doesn't mean you get that discount and you get the concessions. You have to look at that. So the last piece here, and it's real quick, we're just going to use this. You can go back to this. This is going to be posted, on the YouTube channel. But you can go to this and you can see how we're faring year over year. So last year at this time, we had 25,221 properties closed. We're at 26.205. That's 3.9% more than we had last year. Pricing, the pricing of the properties that are selling in that same price range, but we're closing more, 7% ahead. percent. So again, if you're looking at a 4% here, 7% here, it's about a 3% year-over-year appreciation, which falls right into what national economists have been talking about 2026 offering. The median prices are stable and sustaining. The average sale prices have only gone up. There's the number, 3%. So that shows you that we're averaging 78 days on the market, a little stronger. This is year to date. These are year to date numbers comparing this year to last year. 97.32, 97.5 overall, but you're seeing right now we're at 97.9. So that's a good sign. And inventory is strong. So no matter how you're looking at this, the Arizona real estate market is strong. Buyers are in the marketplace, 500 on average in escrow, not considering a purchase, in escrow more than we were last year. Inventory is about the same as it was, and we're just replacing it. We're not growing it. So this is why the month supply has slid down, and we are in a, Mike, get ready, buyer's market. No. Of course we're not. We're in a seller's market. So I said that on behalf of Mr. Weinstein, my co-host here. All right, you guys have a great day. Look forward to seeing you guys soon. Take care. Bye.